We've made songs that have landed us on the cover of Spotify playlists.
Later in this video, we're going to show you exactly how we did it. We're just going to play the track through so you can have a listen.
So this track was actually built across two computers. I'm going to start with the first bit where we talk about how we sketched out the track and built the bones of it. Okay, so this is the original file of the track. It was originally built off pretty much 3 really basic layers, which are these 3 right here. I just really like that ending bit. I thought that was like super spooky. So I kind of took just this bit and looped that. So this was the sample that was in it, and an 808 hit on every single bar, basically. I then also thought that I wanted to have a little like wub kind of going in the middle, so I made that on current. The wub that hits here is just an 808 that's being triggered 3 times. We were in the studio with Jazza that day, and we wanted to do a spoken word top line that was like super catchy and just looped after 4 bars. And I think, do you remember how that came about? I think we could land on the word megaphone first.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I have like I don't think it even made it to a doc.
Cool.
I don't see on it's the original note. No pen and paper in the studio. Yeah, we were just kind of going for pure like dance floor, fucking it up vibes. So that's kind of just the whole energy of the track. And Jazza absolutely killed the delivery.
So this is the original vocal that I recorded in. There was a couple takes up here. As you can see, this is how I record. It's a little bit messy, but on my megaphone. All my plugins are missing, but that doesn't matter because when you freeze it down, it was just this. On my megaphone. We did another take on top of that, which was just a whisper track. So it was this. On my megaphone. So they basically layer and pretty much loop throughout the whole song. On my megaphone. I also kind of had this idea that I wanted like a really almost spooky dissonant synth to like contrast with this atmosphere that was, I wrote it, I made the synth in Serum. And it was literally just a square wave with some noise like this. Has a little bit of glide on it as well, I think. Tiny bit. And it's just compressed and like distorted with a little bit of chorus.
A lot of OTT.
A lot of OTT. Oh no, there was a Serum Effects channel, which I don't usually use Serum Effects, but I had basically put this effect track within the original Serum here. So on the original patch, there's this effect track, which is called Alice Lead 1. I think I just picked it and it sounded cool. I liked it so much that I did it twice. So I put a Serum Effect. I put a Serum Effects after with the same patch of Alice Lead. So it was basically doubling up on it. I wrote the top line as well, just so it was like basically pretty much going between 2 notes. And even the second note's not even in the scale because it's actually an F sharp. But when you play 2 notes that are next to each other, it has a like tension feel. There, so this is playing an E flat and an E. It's chromatic, so it's like, and like a little bit of stutter there. And that's basically the lead that just repeats throughout and comes in a bit later and in the drop. On the loop that I had then sent to Noah, I had this idea to like kind of loop the vocals in the build. So I had just cut these up and put them together. The speakers out, let burn the speakers out. So that just loops while it's building. And then there's also a drum beat that comes in through here, which is just like a break beat that's been sped up. I think I chopped it a little bit, but... And the last thing that I sent was the rap vocal sample. There's 2 different ones in here. There's one before the drop that goes, which is... I said. This is the bit. Keep moving on and on.
I guess it sampled from somewhere else and we're resampling it again. If anyone knows where the original sample is from, please let us know because we don't know. A question we get asked a lot is how we work across not just two laptops, but 2 doors. Hugo's always in Ableton, I'm in Logic. The simple answer is just a lot of stems and a lot of airdrop.
The second sample that's used in the drop is from Move Your Body. Move Your Body.
Move Your Body.
you know I bring it to your live.
Another just rap sample that I found, like recently I've just been downloading as many acapellas I can get and just going in and picking little bits and making stutter like fills out of them. So I think that was kind of cool. And those are pretty much all the stems that I sent to Noah. We will pick it up in Logic.
All right, here we are in Logic. Everything you can see here is kind of just exactly as it was in the Ableton project. Then with the lead vocal, we've just like chopped it up a bit just to get it even tighter and added some weird stuff with chroma going on. Really cool plugin. Basically lets you add like boost certain frequencies from a key that you select. In this case, we're just E flat and B flat frequencies. And that kind of comes in over time. So a cool thing to do in builds as well is we've got that lead going. If you take a reverb tail from your lead, pitch it up over time, you can kind of create a riser in the build just using the reverb from your synth. So it's kind of... lets you kind of build energy without introducing too many new sounds. I think it's kind of cool. And the vocals right before the drop as well. This is without transit on. It's cool, but this kind of makes it a bit more like washed out and a bit like weirder. Just kind of, yeah, don't really know what it's doing, but it sounds cool. I guess we'll get into the basses. Quite a lot of layers going on here. So that first bow wow is from Current. Very, very like rhythmic and very like tonal. This one, I'll do this one first. I think this one was just a Current preset that like was tweaked slightly. Not doing too much. Got some like chorus on there. Putting a chorus on your bass is probably not a good idea. Wouldn't advise it. Causes all sorts of issues, but like we don't play by the rules here. And the second one is a tom that I think I got from Splice that is in a sampler playing out that rhythm with a bit of squash on it just to really like tighten it up. Kickstart on absolutely everything just to give it that nice pump. And then you obviously have the synth lead that comes in after that bar. I didn't want to make it too messy, so the bass that comes in underneath that is much more simple. Kind of just like gradually opens up. I think there's a lot of automation going on here.
But it's still only holding the same note.
Yeah, just on one note. Melodically, you kind of have this nice call and response thing going. Yeah. And then on the drop, we also have the whisper vocal going again. It's even more squashed. I think it already had like a bunch of OTT on it at this point, but now we're just like really pushing it. And it sounds like this. Up till this point, we had basically two vocal layers. You've got the main one, which is kind of like a spoken word thing, and then the whisper one's kind of accompanying that.
We basically got to this point after like a week of working on this track, and we're like, the track sounds great, but Noah was like, I have one more idea, I want to get a shout. And he's like, I don't know who can do it, I don't know who can do the shout. And I was like, do you know what, I'll give it a go. He's like, are you sure you want to do this? I was like, okay, yeah, let's just try it. It might not work, but I'll just try it.
This is like pitched up with a bunch of effects on it. And I think that's just a really cool layer. They're just like halfway through the drop, just takes the energy up another notch.
And yeah, so that's how we made our track Megaphone.
If you have any other questions about our process or how we make things, then let us know. We'd love to answer them.
Leave us a comment or hit us in the DMs because we usually respond.